Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is El Salvageros, and welcome back to more Satisfactory. So, welcome to the end game, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks the beginning of the end. We are going to slowly start working our way towards completing the game, seeing as though we are already a quarter of the way done with that, because I've just been doing a couple of things in preparation for today's video, and we very much have already had over 1,000 nuclear pasta made. So that in the space elevator project of phase 5 is complete. So what is these things that I have been preparing? Well, first of all, I've completed one of our tasks. I have automated, well, semi-automated, power shards. I have to dump the, dark matter every once in a while. Because it's still, you know, being a bit of a pain. But a little bit of an expansion ought to do the trick. We got a lot of power shards to stock up on. And I also added it to our little dimensional depot, so we don't have to worry about that. The other thing that I was doing, I was trying to start looking for, what is it called? More hard drives in search of some of the better option or the better recipes. And these are certainly not it. Cloudy diamonds are actually pretty good. Dark matter trap, also a pretty decent one. I think we're gonna go with the cloudy diamonds. I think there's still so many. There is still so many alternate recipes that we have to collect, and I need to go on another hard drive hunt. I need to use the satisfactory calculator website to find all the hard drives that I missed, because I'll tell you the honest truth, I have no idea where they are. But the primary thing of automating power shards is done. We're going to start gathering a stockpile, and all the remaining slugs in the area have been saved. So no worries about that. No more slug genocide. We get to finally move on and become civilized individuals. Another thing that I did was I started prepping all of the area that we're going to need for our nuclear power plant. Because that is what we're going to be starting today. So I put down a couple of radar stations, pretty much all around this area here, just so we can get an idea of where all of the actual materials are. So pretty much we are going to be collecting every single one of these nodes everywhere in this biome right here in order to use it for the nuclear power plant. We might also have to start delving into collecting these materials over here, because there's a good chance that we're going to need both of those sulfur nodes that are right there. That sulfur node right there, and there's a good chance I might have to use some of this SAM right here, just so that way I can collect some different materials, or at least convert it. But the biggest thing that we got to do is we got to start collecting uranium. And yeah, uranium is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, because the only closest pieces of uranium that are in this biome are right here, which is a normal node. There's this one up here, which is an impure node. There's this one way down here that is also an impure node. I'm pretty sure there's another one in here somewhere, and then there's one over here. But the key thing is I am trying to go with at least a full 1,200 belt of uranium. That's like the major goal. So, pretty much it's going to be a little bit crazy because the production chain for uranium is it's a little crazy. Um, let me just go and make you guys a chart or at least a visual to show you how messed up this production line is going to be. Okay, I have roughly 9 more of these stupid hard drives to go through. And there's no more. Um, yeah, I collected all of them. Just to be thorough, you know? And there's still a bunch of them that we can go through. So, let's go through it. We got this recipe. This is the one that I was looking for. The dark ion fuel. Rocket fuel, packaged rocket fuel, might I add. And some dark matter crystals. So, that's going to make us some ionized fuel. Next up, 2 different types of diamonds. We don't really need to worry about which one in particular because we're going to get all of them. The dark matter trap, pink diamonds, and oil-based diamonds. We're going to get pink diamonds. The coated iron canister and biocoal. We're going to get that. Now, we wait. In the meantime, I unlocked the rest of the map. So now I can see all of the resources, all of their densities. So like if they're impure, pure, or normal. And we have located all 5 uranium nodes. And there's only 5 of them in the map. So an impure, a normal. Which one's this one? Hello? Normal, impure, and I believe impure. Yes. And now we collect them. But what we're going to do is, of course, head on over to the location to where we are going to build the nuclear power plant. And start setting up some basic infrastructure. Alrighty, we're actually getting down to the last couple that we have here. So, obviously, let's do coke steel. We need oil-based diamonds because fuck the petroleum diamond recipe. Fine, we'll get the charcoal recipe. We'll get the automated miner recipe. Then we gotta go get those last 2, I think. But yeah, after that, there's pretty much no more alternate recipes in the game. I also set up a little drone port here to where all of these little guys, they're gonna be gathering all of the uranium. All of it around the world. This design is absolutely not final, nor is this where I think I want this to go. But, I don't know, it's a work in progress. I'm trying to, like, visualize where I want everything. And, I'll tell you what. It ain't working. It's not working very well. But we're off to designing. Part of designing, unfortunately, means that we're also going to have to get a bigger designer. I set up a temporary system to make the neural quantum processors, so we can go ahead and put all those in, do that, and I just collected some of my tickets too, so we got plenty of those. The last thing we need is just about 400 more fused modular frames. I really, really hope I have enough? I do. I'm gonna take 500 because I'm going to need them. Okay, so there is that. Mark III blueprints.
Milestone reached. The Blueprint Designer Mark III allows for 20%
Nice.
increased blueprint size in all dimensions, for an overall 71.2% increase in volume. Sadly, I doubt we will see equivalent increases in your efficiency.
Alright, well, looks like I have to make more of these stupid things. I don't even remember where I got them. What are they called? Neural quantum processors. They're made in encoders. Ah, crap. Well, actually, I could just go ahead and throw one down quick. Grab a converter. And then make some quantum processors. Boom, boom, boom. And get both of you powered. I also changed the color of my thing here. My hologram, just so it's easier to see inputs and outputs. Alright, excited photonic matter. Let's make some more neural quantum processors. Then get rid of this guy. And yeah, we're gonna have some Mark III blueprints pretty soon. I know I said earlier that I didn't want to do this because all of my blueprints are currently, you know, functional and working. Why change it? There's a couple of design things that I want to use. That is going to require a Mark III blueprint. So, yeah. I'm also going to go ahead and throw some of these guys in here real fast. Don't mind me. Oh, and I forgot about the dark matter. Poopy. Oh, poopy. Alright. So, how I was saying that I was designing stuff. Prepare for a jump scare. Okay. It's not as bad as you think, I promise, okay? Ready? Ta-da! I told you in the beginning of this video that we were going to be having like a whole interconnected world with this now. And since the nuclear power plant is going to be the first permanent building of our playthrough, I figured I'd go ahead and go all out and, you know, prep an actual parking lot away from the the radioactiveness. We have a road here that is going to be connecting to the rest of the world. And I even went so far as to make a shit ton, and I mean a shit ton, of new blueprints and stuff. Pretty much just being design stuff and cool things that I found on YouTube and videos I saved on TikTok. So yeah, we got these really cool like chain blueprints now, which I think looked pretty cool. We can definitely use these for some kind of design. I don't know what exactly, but oh yeah, I've been doing a lot of blueprint designing. So let me give you a tour so far. We got the standard parking lot. I was going to loop this around, kind of like this, But yeah, it didn't work out very well. So what I'm thinking of doing, honestly, I can do it right now, is just changing these to concrete. Yeah, I'll change these to concrete. And then, of course, remove the line patterns like that. Yeah, so that way cars can come in through this way. They can turn onto the outside, turn on the outside and go that way. Or if they come in from the other side, they can go this way, they can go that way, out. Pretty much all of the traffic is going to be coming in from this road right here. So, of course, that means it's going to extend outward. And then that road is going to connect to the rest of the world. And yes, I already have a road blueprint, which is something I'm going to have to start implementing because this blueprint is super helpful. It has a little tunnel just in case if I need to bring things like items or power through it. And then here's my favorite part about this whole thing. It is big enough to put trucks on the road comfortably, I should say. And it has a walkway, which of course will protect you and keep you safe from the trucks if I have automated truck systems going. And if you need to get somewhere super fast, there's hypertubes underneath the walkways. So that's, yeah, I've been doing a lot of designing. Honestly, I should have been streaming a lot of it, but I did not do that. Oops. Another thing that I have been doing is I have been learning a lot. I'm not joking when I say this, a lot about building in this game. Honestly, I can definitely say I have learned a lot of new tips and tricks and such in regards to building in Satisfactory. Of course, everything I'm planning on doing is making everything symmetrical, nice looking and everything, but for right now, I'm just getting like the basic shell of everything. So we can connect that, and of course that back up so I can give the power plant power again. Because I do have some infrastructure built already. So aside from the exterior, I still have to figure out what I'm doing with this front. I hate this front so much, guys. I hate it. I hate it so much. But yeah, we got these cool looking like wall designs. I need to figure out what I'm doing with like the base here, otherwise it's literally just going to be a giant building on a huge slab of concrete in the middle of the desert. So it's a little weird. But so far, everything is walkable. You walk in to the main part of the factory. I'm still designing the walls and the interiors and stuff, which is really interesting. A building design that I learned, 1 meter walls are solid compared to the regular walls that have like these really weird indents and everything. The solid 1 meter walls, honestly, is way better than what I've been building with. I love this design. All right, so pretty much when you enter the nuclear power plant, I'm thinking of having just like railings or something here, just to, you know, add a little something to it. I don't know. Everything is also built on like half a slab here, so it's been a challenge and a half getting all this properly measured out and stuff. And I don't even want to talk about the curves. Oh my god, the curves. But yeah, pretty much. There's just going to be railings all over the place to, you know, prevent any visitors or something from, like, disturbing some of the centerpieces that I'm going to be having in, like, this area here. It also defines the proper walkways now, which I kind of like. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there was a design that I used for the what was it? Was it the pasta plant? I think it was the pasta plant that I did that with. But anyway, yeah, everything is gonna have a walkway. The hypertube network, at least the start of the hypertube network, is gonna be right here. I'm thinking of keeping it here because everything is in a nice straight line. And I'll tell you the honest truth, I'm thinking about adding another section of the wall here. Also, I'm sorry if you could hear cars in the background. But yeah, I'm thinking of adding walls over here. It just seems a little bit nicer. So we add the walls like this. Zoom. Then another wall segment like that. And then honestly, what we can do is have, I don't know, what a concrete... yeah, like a small pillar, small concrete pillar or something. Because I can nudge that into the proper position, like so. Yeah, and then cover up the rest of the hypertube with a small wall segment. Yeah, something similar to that. We'll grab my black swatch right here. Do this. And... yeah. Just do that. So that way now I can go ahead and put signs above all of the hypertubes to show me and tell me where to go. Okay, I like that idea. I don't know why I didn't think about that in the first place. But yeah, it's not just going to be flat surfaces and stuff like that. I'm going to have, like, pipes going in and out of the ceiling and stuff, like decorative stuff all over the place. Don't worry about it. It's just the shell. We're just working on the shell right now. Speaking of shell, the control room is going to be right here. I didn't mean to eat that. Right here up front. You open the door and holy brightness. I already got the ceiling lamps up. I got the light switch going on. I have the Hypertube power network going. And as you can see, I have batteries. And I needed a lot of batteries. Hence what this room is, the power storage. Oh yeah, we have like a full room dedicated to this cool looking server rack design for a bunch of power storages. God forbid I ever need these things, which is inevitable during the case of a meltdown. Because I would have absolutely no doubt that my dumbass is going to screw something up. And I recently, like, fully discovered how the nudge system works in this game. And holy shit, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Where was this my entire life? I'm not joking. This mechanic is a godsend. Being able to just look around and make sure that everything is symmetrical. Oh my god, it's so nice. It's so nice. But yeah, pretty much. All of the battery packs are being sent up into the ceiling, like so. And they're all being connected underneath the concrete ceiling that I have going on right here. And there's a reason for this. I kind of like the idea, and I've been playing around with this idea a lot in this factory. I kind of really like the idea of having what are called cavity walls. So essentially, it's a wall segment that has this central opening here for you to just like run through, where you can put all of your power lines and stuff. It saves so much room, and it looks super nice. I've actually have it currently like working back here in the power room, and there's this whole segment that I threw into the ultimate design of the nuclear power plant. So now we're gonna have cavity walls pretty much everywhere in the factory. It'll make power lines so much neater, and it'll make all of our factory producing floors so much cleaner, and it looks like shit right now. Literally only because I have all these power lines all over the place, providing my hover pack with power. So yeah, speaking of power, we're not doing too hot on power. I've actually had the fuse blown before, which is not good. Um, thankfully, I haven't really been adding a whole lot of strain on the power system. So that's a good thing, because if I had any more strain on the power system, like when I had to make the Neuro whatever for the Mark III blueprint designers, yeah, that's what caused me to blow my fuse. So that sucked. But anyway, now that all of this is taken care of, I still have 2, 3, 4, 5 more server racks to put in. And then this part of the building is done. After this, therefore comes the actual construction of the nukes. So to wrap up this video, let's go ahead and actually talk about nuclear. We have a system going. It is a system. This is just basically testing throughput and flight paths, which I hate drones in this game because, oh my god, the automatic flight paths are horrendous. I hate them, but there's not really anything that I can do about it. We're currently bringing in turbo fuel that we're making over at the fuel power plant to help power all of the drones, which has been proven to be very successful. And in terms of uranium, we have every node except one. Every single node except for one that is buried deep underground that I'm probably going to have to go get because it's a normal node. And yeah, that's a lot of uranium that I'm going to need. So here's the plan. We are currently bringing in, just to double check, 300, 600, 900, plus I round this one down to like 450. So 900 plus 450 is 1350 uranium. That's a lot of uranium. All right, it's a lot. So much so, it's to the point of our Mark 6 belt can't handle it. Because you recall, Mark 6 belts can only handle up to 1,200 items a minute. So, it got me thinking, why don't we just go ahead and do the math to bring in 1,200 uranium per minute? And that's what I did. That's what this progression wall is. 1,200 uranium is going to be the result of 12 blenders with 2 power shards each. Basically producing a lot of uranium fuel cells. 600 per minute to be precise. In 12 manufacturers, fully overclocked, those 600 uranium cells, along with electromagnetic control rods, crystal oscillators, and rotors, will be able to craft 18 nuclear fuel rods per minute. Now, I understand that you guys may think 18 nuclear fuel rods is not a lot. In the grand scheme of things, yes it is, okay? And here's the thing. We are at the point in the game where 18 of a extremely complicated item like nuclear fuel rods is going to be more common. Because those 18 nuclear fuel rods can go into 36 fully overclocked nuclear power plants. And these sons of bitches make a lot of power. It's like 1,200. It's like 1,200 power at the complete maximum overclocked. So you think of it this way, times 36. Wait, no, that doesn't seem right. Only 43,000. I don't know. The math ain't math. Hold on. Let me go double check that math. Okay, so yes, I was way off with that math. 6,250. 6,250. That's about 225,000 megawatts of power. 225,000 megawatts. That is well over double our current power situation. Oh no. Yeah, so that's fun. So, what did I say? 225,000 megawatts of power. Boop. That's a lot of power. And of course, just like Goku in Dragon Ball, we can go even further beyond. And that's the plan. Because with all of those nuclear power plants needs a lot of water. 36 fully overclocked water extractors to be precise, with about 22,000 water per minute. It's a lot. That's not counting all of the water that we're going to need to make the concrete, to make the sulfuric acid, to make the iron, the caterium, and all this other stuff in order to craft all of these other materials. We're going to need close to about, let's say, about 50,000 water, if not more. So, what happens after the nuclear power plant? Well, the nuclear power plant has a byproduct. And this is the thing that scares the shit out of everybody that plays this game. And it scares the crap out of everybody. So much so that most people who play this game don't even touch nuclear because of it. The nuclear waste. 900 to be precise. So, you think of it this way. 36 nuclear power plants. Is it 2 or 3? Because these are giving me two different... These are giving me two different numbers. Did I goof? It should only be... I think it's only 2. 0.4. 18 divided by 0.4. Right? So it'll burn at twice the speed. Creating 5,000. Well, anyway. I'm going to have to go into my testing world and double check this stuff because I'm 90% sure it's only 2. Anyway. The 900 nuclear waste that we are going to be making, along with 600 silica, 360 sulfuric acid, and 360 nitric acid, is going to be crafted down into 1,200 non-fissile uranium, a full belt, along with 360 water as a byproduct, which we're probably just going to turn it into concrete and just shove it into the sink. No problem. On top of all this, using 8 particle accelerators at 200% overclock, that 1,200 non-fissile uranium, along with a small amount of aluminium casings, will make 160 encased plutonium cells. And then, the difficult part. There is a recipe in the assemblers that can take all of those plutonium cells and then, using pressure conversion cubes, turn them into plutonium fuel rods, which is nice. And then, at the current moment in time, I would like to only go up to plutonium, because the entire process here is already going to take a while. It is going to take a long time to do. So, as we get up to this point, you can sink plutonium fuel rods. They're worth a lot of points, too. So, instead of using them for power and generating plutonium waste, I don't want to do that. We're just going to go ahead and settle with the 225,000 megawatts that we're going to get just from the uranium, and sit down, shut up, and be happy about that. For now. There is one more factor that needs to be addressed. The alien augmenters. Yeah, these things. So, you guys distinctly remember that we already have one built. It increases the amount of power that it could generate by 10% for every single one that we make. Well, I want to make 10 of them. I'm pretty sure there is enough Sombras loops in the game that if I don't, double the product of any of my machines and just build them into alien augmenters, I should be able to at least increase the output of my factory by 0.5, if not by a full point, or a full times 2%. Not percent, times 2. So you think of it that way. Even just by having 5 of them, 225,000, you multiply that by 0.5, that's 112,500. So you add 112,500. That is Zoom. 337,500 megawatts of power. And then, of course, you just do the math. 225,000 times 2, 450,000 megawatts. That's just from uranium. We still have plutonium and fixonium to go through. Not to mention all of the spare fuel that we have over at the fuel power plant, which we're going to completely gut and redo eventually. We're steering pretty close to getting that terawatt of power. So my goals are slowly coming into play. All right, but first things first, I am going to probably move this entire setup. Still have this platform up here for the progression, but I'm probably going to go ahead and move all of these drones. And then I also just remembered we have to have a method of automating the iodine infused filters, just to ensure that we don't accidentally die from the radiation. And that like the storage for all of those is going to go in that first building, because that first building right there, I want nothing at all radioactive anywhere close to that building at all. That is my safe building, and if that gets contaminated, a meltdown happens, we are fucked. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. I know this is a long explanation process, but trust me, preparation for dealing with nukes is important, because it's not just power we're making here, it's waste, it is protection, and I also plan on building weaponry here. So yeah, nuclear bombs are going to be produced here just to help me out with clearing and such, combat. It's going to be a whole thing. This factory is going to be massive, and I cannot wait to get started on it. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Make sure to follow me on all my other socials down in the links below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.